Every year, Apple reminds us that the Apple Watch is the best and most popular smartwatch in the world. In my opinion, Series 6 and 7 were not as great and innovative as I hoped they would be. But in Series 8, we finally get to see something very interesting. Therefore, I have collected the most important stuff, and now I will tell you about everything in more detail. 8 is already on our mind, even if the Apple Watch 7 only became available to buy a few months ago. And while I'm not so impressed by the latest Apple smartwatch, it definitely leaves some features to be desired. Apple has announced a new version of the best smartwatch every year since the launch of the original, so there is a good chance the company is already working on a follow-up to the Apple Watch 7. I haven't seen any major leaks like we have for the iPhone 14, but rumors that didn't materialize with the latest model could be destined for Apple Watch 8. For all I know, Apple is still planning the flat-edged redesign many people anticipated. It could also bring a new health sensor for the Apple Watch 8, since the Apple Watch 7 versus Apple Watch 6 hardware didn't introduce much in terms of wellness. In the meantime, watchOS 8 welcomes more workout types, plus a mindfulness app for reflecting on everyday basis. Still, I'm curious about what's ahead. The Apple Watch sets standards for wearable computing, making early Apple Watch 8 rumors worth putting on your radar. Be sure to subscribe to my channel for latest updates on the possible Apple Watch 8 price and release date, expected features and more. The Apple Watch's appearance has remained virtually unchanged since the first model debuted in 2016, but the iconic squircle was tweaked with the Apple Watch 7 to accommodate larger display in an ever-so-curvier chassis. While it's early for Apple Watch 8 rumors, there are some rumors doing the rounds. The latest one is an alleged render image of the Apple Watch. I can't verify this image legitimacy, but if it's accurate, then the Apple Watch 8 won't be spotting a big design change over the Apple Watch 7. But the Apple Watch 8 could follow the design language of newer flat-edged iPhones if it gets the upgrades that were previously rumored for the Series 7. Expectations of a flat-sided Apple Watch grew when leaker John Prosser shared a series of renders earlier this year. Prosser hedged the timeline of the major design change, saying his sources could have passed along Intel for the different future Apple Watch, not necessarily the Apple Watch 7. Another set of renders published ahead of the Apple Watch 7 announcement revealed plans for a flat-edged redesign. The reportedly leaked CAD renders shared by 91 mobiles tease an all-flat design, display included. Could Apple jump from its curviest Apple Watch to yet its sharpest? I don't know, but it's certainly possible. There is a chance the Apple Watch 8 comes alongside a less expensive Apple Watch SE follow-up, which would be 2 years old by this September. We could see the Apple Watch SE 2 start at $279 with upgraded specs compared for the current best Apple Watch for those on a budget. There is also talk of a rugged Apple Watch designed to better cater the outdoor sport enthusiasts. Whether it would become one of the best sport watches depends heavily on the battery life and GPS features. Rugged Apple Watch rumors started ahead of the Apple Watch 7 launch, but according to Apple tipster Mark Gurman, it and the new Apple Watch SE might arrive alongside the Series 8. Better battery life. The Apple Watch's battery life has been rated for 18 hours for several years now, and while the company has added more texting features like an always-on display, you still can't bypass a daily charge. Maybe with a larger battery capacity and more efficient processor, the Apple Watch 8 stamina will improve compared to previous generation models. I hope for this every year though. Even the Apple Watch 7 was tipped for a huge battery life boost, but it didn't happen. Skin temperature reader. According to a Bloomberg report, Apple is working on a skin temperature sensor, as found in the Fitbit Sense. A Wall Street Journal report targets 2022 as a possible arrival for this capability, which would require new hardware in Apple Watch to monitor temperature. It's possible the watch's temperature-taking ability would be pitched as a fertility planning feature. According to Mark Gurman, this is still a possibility. Blood glucose reader. Blood glucose reading for Apple Watch has been rumored for some time. The Wall Street Journal report mentioning skin temperature reading also confirms that Apple wants its smartwatch to be able to detect or help monitor diabetes. There are already third-party apps that work with an invasive pump, but Apple is reportedly studying non-invasive ways to take blood glucose readings. A recent report in DigiTimes further backed this up, claiming that Apple has begun working with its suppliers to create short-wavelength infrared sensors that could monitor the amount of sugar in a user's blood. Blood pressure monitor. Like blood blood glucose reading, rumors of blood pressure monitoring for Apple Watch began a while back. For a moment ahead of the Apple Watch 7 launch, Apple seemed poised to announce the health sensor, but it didn't materialize. As we've seen, Samsung is still struggling to earn FDA approval for the blood pressure monitor in the Samsung Galaxy Watch 4 and Samsung Galaxy Watch 3. The Apple Watch won't get blood pressure monitoring until it earns the necessary certificates for US application. Micro-LED display. Rumors have considered that the Apple Watch could make a switch from an OLED display to a micro-LED screen. It could enable a slimmer and more power-efficient Apple Watch. Micro-LED display offer a better brightness and don't suffer from the luminance decay problems of traditional OLED panels. In other words, using micro-LED screen tech could help boost the Apple Watch's lifespan, which stands at just 18 hours with an always-on display. Touch ID. The Apple Watch's current biometric system is pretty simple. If you use a passcode, you'll need to type it in anytime you put your Apple Watch on your wrist. Considering the amount of information your smartwatch may hold, I'd welcome more security. Until the Apple Watch gets a native selfie camera for Face ID, Touch ID seems like the solution. Perhaps a fingerprint reader could be added to the side button, or even under the Apple Watch display. Even larger sizes. Though the Apple Watch 7 grew from 40 and 44mm to 41 and 45mm as confirmed by Apple Watch bands listed on Apple's website, I'd like the Apple Watch to come even in larger sizes. The current sizes allow for a miniaturized user experience that's excellent in snippet, but impractical for productivity. Adding a couple of millimeters to the Apple Watch might not sound like a major change, but it could give the company a room to add things like stronger microphones and speakers, or even a bigger processor. I don't know a potential release date for the Apple Watch 8 yet, but going by previous Apple Watch launches, I'm expecting to see the next Apple Watch in September 2022. Similarly, there is no information available about the Apple Watch 8 prices right now, but Apple has maintained the same price structure for several years, so I expect this year Apple Watch will match the price of the Apple Watch 7. The Apple Watch 7 starts at $399 for the 41mm model, with premiums for the larger 45mm model and cellular connectivity. Do you plan to upgrade to the new Apple Watch this year? And if so, which model do you find the most interesting?